Alright, hey, this is Eric from Bowling for Soup, and we are here in the lovely city of Chicago, outside of the Bottom Lounge. We're going to be making paninis on the tour bus at 65 miles an hour today. Actually, we're sitting still. We're just going to imagine that we're going 65 miles an hour, but this is the kind of stuff that, that we might tend to eat on the bus when other good food is not available and you have to make do for yourself. So I'm going to make a couple of different sandwiches today. I'm going to make a turkey, spinach, and provolone panini, and then I will make a Cajun chicken Caesar panini. And it's super easy, and these are things that you can make this at home. And actually there are several videos that I've seen in the past few months of people saying this is good for like college dorm stuff. You know, when you don't have anything but an iron and you don't have a hot plate or anything like that, it's a great alternative to say ramen that you can, you know, just boil a kettle or something like that. So let me just get started. You got your potato bread, and best thing to do, first thing we're going to do is going to make the turkey, and so very important to have your squeezable condiments. We get that, and the squeezable condiments are the only way to go when you're on a bus, because it just makes life easier. Because when you run out of things like plastic cutlery and stuff like that, you can make it work. Because what I'm going to show you here in just a second, oftentimes a paper towel becomes a utensil, and it's not the sometimes most fantastic thing that you can ever do. But first thing, this is a turkey, provolone, and spinach panini, and we are using a steam travel iron to make this. So first thing that I want to do is, I don't know if you can see the steam coming from this, but I've got some spinach here, just from a bag from the store, and you use the steam option just to blow a little steam down here and soften this stuff up. Now it's going to soften while you cook the sandwich as well. Yeah, that's a little loosened up. That looks good, and it doesn't take much to do that. And so we'll go with our turkey first. And this is actually really quick when it comes down to making the actual sandwich rather than building it. Just get a couple of slices of your turkey out here. And I don't know how other people like to work it, but I enjoy my cheese on one side and my meat on the other, and so I like to put the steamed vegetables in between here. And then we'll drop a little provolone right on top here, and get that set away. Now this is a very important part of it. You can use a little small bottle of olive oil. You need a little bit of this to give that crispiness on the bread that you want from a panini. And now this is where the paper towel comes in as a utensil. A lot of times people will brush olive oil on, but paper towel works just as well as a brush you would use in your kitchen. In fact, when I grill at home, I put the oil for my grill on paper towels and use that to oil up the grill, and it just makes cleanup easier and nicer. So what we do from here, I've already got some aluminum foil pulled apart here, and we just wrap this. The best way to do it is to kind of ensure that you've got an equal amount of foil on each side to make sure that the sandwich gets grilled the same on each side. So when you fold the ends over, fold one end that way and flip it over, fold the other end that way, and you're going to take your iron and make sure it's on the highest setting that you have. And this happens to be a travel iron, but you know, use a full-size iron if you want. And basically, you just iron your shirt. Or maybe not quite as you would iron a shirt, but you're pressing, and this takes about 2 minutes aside on your highest setting. So I'm going to put my clock down there and look at all these text messages that are coming in. But we just sit and you press and you hold. So this is basically George Foreman was a heavyweight. This is the lightweight Foreman grill that we have here. And I suggest, you know, this is on a paper plate, so I've lined it with aluminum foil as to not really burn anything on the plate. And once again, when I was steaming the spinach, I took one of our paper coffee cups for our coffee maker over here and lined it with aluminum foil to steam the spinach in. But I mean, this is actually so super easy, and it makes total sense. The way that this whole thing started for us with Bowling for Soup is our former tour manager, and love him to death and love her to death. His girlfriend at the time was selling merch for us, and she used a hair straightener and happened to leave the hair straightener in the lounge of a bus while we were over in the UK. And that night, some people, after some beverages, decided that they could probably make grilled cheese sandwiches with the hair straightener that was left down there, and were very, very successful in making grilled cheese sandwiches with the hair straightener. Now, what was not successful was the fact, so after about 2 minutes you want to flip it over. What was not successful was the fact that the girl who was selling our merchandise was very upset that her hair straightener was used to make sandwiches the night before. And after the sandwiches were made, I actually wasn't there because I'd gone to sleep before any of this went down. So these household appliances actually make really, really good cooking utensils. And you know, this is something that I had actually thought about in the past and never implemented onto making like delicious food on the tour bus until that night when it was a joke, and I was was like, man, I can do this and use stuff that we get, you know, in the dressing room every night and make a great lunch rather than having to go find someplace, you know, 10 minutes away, or jump in an Uber and go find a good shop to get some food. And then just after about 4 minutes, oh yeah, I forgot one good part. This potato bread, when you use it, it puts off a bit more moisture, and so if you use a moist bread like potato bread, it's good to maybe wrap it in a paper towel before you put it in the aluminum foil, because it tends to stick. But right there, that's kind of a class act sandwich for cooking on a tour bus, you know. Slice this open and take a look. Got our spinach and provolone and turkey, and that's, I mean, you know, you might pay anywhere from $6 to $9 for that on the street in any city. That's our turkey and provolone and spinach. I'm gonna reuse some leftover food, which is always a good thing, because if you can, if you are lucky enough to get fed like any kind of catering, if there's any bits of things that you can think of that'll save pretty well, you just grab those and squirrel them away. And so the next, we're gonna make a Cajun chicken Caesar panini. All right, so to start this segment, I've already put just a little bit of mayo on the inside of the bread, just to give it a little bit more moisture on the inside whenever it cooks. But you'll see in just a second, because I'm making a Cajun Caesar chicken panini here. And I know this doesn't make sense, but I'm using a horrible processed Swiss cheese this time around, but it's just delicious, and that happens to be what we have on the rider, and that actually goes best on this sandwich. Now, but here's the thing. You got a meal on your rider yesterday, and you've got a little bit of leftover Caesar salad at the end of the night. You save a little bit of that, and you know, it's probably gonna be a little bit softer. That's actually still pretty crispy. Because it comes dressed, it's probably going to be a little bit softer than you want to eat. But if you're eating it on a sandwich, especially one that's heated, this is going to wilt anyway, and it's still perfectly good. Any professional chef is going to tell you that doesn't, it's just a texture thing that people have a problem with. And if you got this on a sandwich and this lettuce was fresh 15 minutes ago, it's going to be about exactly this same texture. So I've already put a little bit of mayo on the inside of the bread just to give it a little bit more moisture. And then we're going to take some chicken breast, some rotisserie deli chicken breast, and this is just the stuff that we use on the bus, because I know it's full of preservatives, and you're probably saying, don't tell my kids to eat this stuff. But this stuff lasts a little bit longer, and once again, we take this, and then you have your this happens to be a really, really good one. This is the one that I use at my house. This just happened to be the one that was on the bus. right now. So Tony Ceasar's is the way to go, and you know, just give it a little sprinkle, as much as you like, and then we do exactly the same thing as before. I'm going to show you a different, rather than the olive oil. We happen to have one of these, I can't believe it's not whatever the hell it is, things, and these work just as well, and in fact, they may work a little bit better because you don't have to use your paper towel utensil to spread that stuff around. And so here's our, so we got our leftover from yesterday and a brand new pack of rotisserie chicken. And once again, this is, I'm so glad that I discovered this and thought this out after the guys, through enhanced ideas, figured out about using the hair straightener to make sandwiches. And it's just beautiful because this takes up so much less space and it only takes just slightly more time on the bus to make a sandwich like this than having, I mean, here, well, let's pause for 30 seconds and walk this way. This is our kitchen area, so there's no room to put like a Foreman grill or like a panini press or something. You know, we've had, this is actually one of the nicer buses that we've had, and each bus's configuration is different. So sometimes we've had room to put something like that up, or we've had to store it in a bunk that wasn't being used before, and when it's time to make sandwiches, you go, oh, bring out the panini press and put it down here, and then there's, you know, 30 minutes of making sandwiches that nobody can sit here because whoever's going to be the sandwich master is making sandwiches for everyone. Once again, we come out with a very nice looking, maybe that one isn't quite as toasted as the last one was. The olive oil works a little bit better to crisp everything up just a bit, but you know, in the same fashion, you're all nice and melty and delicious inside, and that's actually better than one of those Ceasar things that you get at that Seattle coffee company that sells the Ceasar things. Alright, hey, once again, this is Eric from Bowling for Soup, and you've been watching Cooking at 65 miles an hour. You can check us out at bowlingforsoup.com, facebook.com/bowlingforsoupband. If you go to bowlingforsoup.com, you can link to all of our social media stuff, and enjoy yourself some good, easily made food that just tastes good, and it's slightly elevated above what you thought you might be able to make at your house when you don't have things that you can use, because you have the things that you can use.